everyone, hopefully this is just a short video, but you know me, anything could happen. But yeah, no, earlier today I rambled on Facebook about asexuality, and I thought you might be interested in some of my thoughts, and then I've got some other things to say after that. But yeah, no, I'm just gonna read out my little asexuality ramble on Facebook, because this is on my private one, I haven't made it public, so you can't really see it. But hey, let's go for it. So, yes, this is 9 hours ago today. Oh hey, it's Asexual Awareness Week again. I don't know who comes up with this stuff, but whatever. So this year my thought is about the tension between the ace community and the broader LGBT+. Some people think asexuality shouldn't be included in the alphabet, some people think it should, others only think that asexual people who are romantically attracted to the opposite sex should be excluded for being almost straight, and so on. Apparently people get pretty emotional about this. All I know is, 1, I don't personally call myself queer. Sure, I'm odd, but I guess I still view queer along its more traditional definitions. It'd just feel weird to use that word for myself. But maybe the biggest thing for me on this is that if I called myself queer, everyone would get the wrong idea. No one's first thought when you say queer is asexual. I don't need that miscommunication, and I struggle to understand why other aces are so desperate to merge that into a label. I struggle to understand why other races are so desperate to merge into that label that pretty much says the opposite of what they are. Though, to be honest, I'm not really surprised given the super frustrating way the ace community behaves regarding labels. 2, I don't actually feel entirely comfortable in the LGBT+ community. Most people are kind and accepting, that part's fine, but when you get down to it, LGBT+ has a huge focus on sex, duh, and I just don't want or need to be around that if I can help it. Mainstream society is frustrating enough. You get TV shows full of relationships, sex jokes that I don't always understand, advertising using young women to sell cars, and so on. But not always. Whereas in LGBT+ spaces, you're pretty much guaranteed for that stuff to come up because that's kind of the point. It's like when I tried hanging out with BDSM people interested in their fashion and philosophy without quite realizing that I'd never be able to talk to them without sex entering the conversation. It's impossible to navigate these spaces without bumping into exactly the things I wanted to avoid. 3, I definitely don't like the ace community, and I laugh. Haha. Should I laugh when I write things like haha? Do I do that? I don't know. I'll just keep reading. I've mentioned it before, and there are a lot of issues, like their obsession with ace intersectionality is so flawed, and actually ends up obscuring ace issues at times, and I end up being called a bigot because I refuse to mindlessly shout abuse at people who don't understand something, and then get told I'm tone policing for pointing out the obvious that you aren't gonna bring anyone to your cause by being a little bitch to them instead of actually explaining the issues. And then I also get told that asking them to explain the issues is demanding terrible emotional labor, and people should just magically know what to Google to understand why they're all so fucking upset. They also have that over 9,000 genders thing pretty bad, in addition to their over 9,000 orientations that keep splitting and splitting as time goes on. Oh my god, have you heard of platonic orientations? Now we're choosing what genders of people we want to be friends with or some shit, fuck off. But the biggest problem that turned me off the community is the sex thing again. How do you talk about not being interested in sex or attracted to people without the topic of sex coming up? It's not really possible. So actually the ace community is worse than LGBT+ for this, in my opinion. So, basically, I just don't like communities, and then I've got that XD face, because I don't fit the mainstream either. But really, any time you get a large group of people together as a community, I think I tend to run away, even outside sex-focused movements. Sometimes it's like that arts party. Oh yeah, I joined the arts party ages ago. Sometimes it's like that arts party where the leaders take it in a direction I don't actually support, and that's outside their goals. So I'm actually not in that party anymore. Other times, it's the echo chamber taking the community further to an extreme, forgetting that opposing views exist and that there is a more sensible middle ground. And then there's the part where I'm just not a social butterfly at all, ... I mean, I can understand how communities are helpful for support, but I guess it's when they reach a certain size that I balk. So yeah, I'd rather be alone, asterisk, which we'll get to, than pretend to fit something I don't. Even if asexuality does become 100% accepted as LGBT+, I kinda don't care, because I don't feel like I fit in with it either. Instead, I'll just continue to choose my issues and cheer from the sidelines. Same-sex marriage? Sure, I ticked the yes box. I just didn't go to the marches, and I don't go to any of the parades. Same will be true if there's ever a major asexual issue that I agree with. Okay, the asterisks. I'm a loner, which means I like being alone. No, it's not sad, and no, I'm not lonely. And yeah, sorry, this is when you complain about loneliness, this is why when you complain about loneliness, I struggle to empathize with you and have no useful advice. I'll tell you to work on yourself, because then you'll become interesting to more people. But that doesn't help your immediate pain, so as far as I know, it's not actually helpful. But that's all I got, and you'll make me feel awkward if you try to guilt me into hanging out with you out of pity, especially if it's not going to be at a good gig with bands I like that doesn't start stupidly late, like at 10 p.m. when I want to be heading to bed, lol. And I mention a particular venue that likes to start its weekend gigs at 10 p.m. when, no, what? That's when I want to go to bed. I don't understand these people who go, partying up until 3 a.m. Anyway, that's my ramble about asexuality. You get the idea. Leave comments if you think I'm being crazy, but I just don't see myself as queer. I don't fit in with LGBT+, and I don't fit in with the asexual community because at least the ones that I have sort of looked at, they're just crazy, and I can't do it. I don't know. And that's another, I don't know how much I've mentioned on YouTube. I've mentioned so much more stuff on Facebook. So yeah, if there's something in that ramble that you don't understand because I haven't filled in the context, just let me know and I'll fill it in. But anyway, Facebook ramble out. And so I read that because it occurred to me, every now and then I do go on these Facebook rambles, rants, whatever. And some of it, I'm like, oh, I could probably share this on YouTube, but I don't always have the energy to make a full-on video where I'm properly talking to the camera as opposed to looking at my screen like I just did and stumbling over my words. When I make a proper video, even if I've got an outline of things I want to talk about, I try my best to look at the camera and not at my piece of paper or at the screen. So, idea is maybe one of the things I can do in between my proper videos is anytime I go on one of these rants, I can read it out to you. While the family's watching TV and not going to disturb me. Let me know what you think about that if you want to hear some of those, little thoughts that I have every now and then. Another idea I had is, so I've actually filmed quite a few videos already. There's 2, at the time that I'm filming this, it's Friday night. What's the date today? Friday the 26th of October. Yeah. At the time that I'm filming this, I've got 2 videos already scheduled. I don't know how to say that word anymore now that I'm thinking about it. But yeah, I've already got 2 uploaded and ready to go. I've just finished editing another one, which I'll review before I bounce it out. What is the equivalent of bounce? Render in video? Before I bounce that out, I'm going to say bounce because I'm a musician. I'm going to bounce that out of the software, and then I'll upload it, and then I'll fill out all the information. And then I've got 2 others that I've filmed, and I don't know if this one counts because now it's 8 minutes and I didn't mean for it to go for ages, but anyway. So I have a lot of videos on the way, and I'm kind of thinking should I maybe switch to twice weekly videos, or am I creating too much work? Because, what if I get busy? Maybe it's good to have all those videos ready to go, but I don't know. I get kind of bored waiting a whole week to put out another video, So I wanted to get your thoughts on that. Should I try and do twice weekly, or should I wait until I have 2 months worth of videos lined up and then start doing it twice weekly? Because, if I've got 2 months worth of videos scheduled, whatever, maybe that's too far in the future, because what if something happens now and I want to make a big video about it? I don't know. Your thoughts about my scheduling. If I do schedule more than one a week, probably I will move the Wednesday one and maybe do it Monday and Thursday, or Tuesday and Friday, or what days do you want me to have videos out? And keep in mind, this is Sydney time, so look up Sydney time compared to your time and let me know. Oh yeah, speaking of, they gave me those premiere things where I can watch the video with you as it plays for the first time, sort of like a live video. So let me know if you're interested in premieres, and in that case, then the days that we upload should be ones where I'm actually home so that I can watch with you. So that would influence what days I put up those videos. Let me know about that. And then the last thing was maybe to talk about some of this stuff I could live stream on Monday or Tuesday. So if you're watching this late, the 29th or the 30th of October 2018. If any of you are around on those days, maybe I could live stream. Usually I live stream 1 p.m. until around 3 or whenever Mikey gets home. Depends a bit on what Mum's doing, because I don't want to be live streaming when there's a whole bunch of people around. Partly because embarrassment, partly because it affects our internet. So yeah, let me know if you're interested in me setting up a live stream for next week. And those are all my questions. And we have just ticked over 11 minutes, which is not bad for me when I say I'm going to do a short video, but yeah, lots to think about. Leave me some comments if you're interested in any of that. If I don't get any comments, fuck it, we'll just get one uploaded on Wednesday as usual. Alright, ciao for now.